All right. So this was the file we were using last December 16, I think, yung last day ng classes natin. By the way, I'll give the results of the exams hopefully this week. Okay, so sabi natin guys, pag regression, may mga assumptions dyan na we will have to validate yung final output ng model natin. Kailangan i-check natin kung nakakapag-comply tayo dun sa regression assumptions. Otherwise, kung hindi, we will have to do something about it. No? So una, dapat yung relationship natin ng X and Y dapat linear siya. Linearity of the data. So kung hindi linear kasi yung relationship ng X at saka ni Y, ng explanatory variable X natin with our outcome variable Y, then we have a problem. Baka hindi linear regression kailangan natin. Baka polynomial, baka quadratic regression, etc. No? Also, pag sinabing linearity, pag sinabing linear regression, linear dapat in the parameters. Pag sinabing parameters, yung mga betas natin, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, so ibig sabihin hindi pwedeng naka 1 over beta, naka exponent, no? 3 to the beta, hindi pa pwedeng ganun. Kailangan linear lang siya. Okay, kaya yun number 2, linearity of the parameters. By the way, can you see the screen? Hindi ko yata na-share. Okay, can you see now, guys, the screen? Kita ba? Ano ba yung screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, so ito yung our markdown file na sinare ko sa inyo, guys, last time, no? So I hope you opened it. Okay, thank you, Ernest. Okay, then you have yung error terms, guys. Yung mga susunod, dapat titingnan natin yung error terms, no? Error terms, kailangan homoscedastic yung residuals natin. Ibig sabihin ng homoscedastic, dapat constant yung constant yung value, yung variance. Yung variance ng residuals hindi pa pwedeng non-constant, hindi siya pa pwedeng parang nagpa-fan out, parang nag-i-increase, may trend. Hindi siya pa pwedeng parang may shape siya na kunyari na parang polynomial yung shape niya. Kailangan random siya tapos constant siya over time. Okay, dapat also yung explanatory variables natin, yung mga x's natin, hindi dapat collinear. Kasi pag may kung may collinear sila, guys, we might have a condition called multicollinearity, and this can be seen in the VIF, yung VIF variance inflation factor. And then independence of residuals of error terms. Okay, makikita natin yan, guys, especially kung time series, yung independence ng error terms. And then residual should also be normally distributed. Lalo na to, guys, kung maliit yung sample size natin. Pero pag malaki yung sample size, pwede na natin medyo i-ignore yan, yung normality of residuals na yan. Alright, so last time we started, diba, ito yung ginamit natin ng packages. So I'm sure you have already installed these packages, yung Psych, Pastex, OLSRR, Stargazer, SchemR. Okay, so may I request you to please require it, either library or require. Okay, I have already done that a while ago, so pakirun yung code na to, guys. Okay, and then also, we were using the wage data. In-import ko na rin yan, so could you kindly also import, we can use this, import dataset. And then, yung wage na CSV file, no? So let's check. Okay, ito yung data natin, wage. So we have education, experience, tenure, and then you have categorical variables, race, gender, civil status, number of dependents, hourly wage. If you recall, guys, kung magre-regression tayo with hourly wage as the outcome variable and the rest as your predictor variables or explanatory variables, sabi natin pag ginagamit natin yung Excel o yung XRealStat, hindi pa pwede siyang naka-text, no? Naka-character. Kailangan i-convert natin siya. And what was our rule, guys? How do you convert a categorical variable? Either type. Paano natin gagamitin sa regression yan? Character yan. What do we do, guys? We introduce, what do we call it, guys? Letter D. Okay. Introduce what we call, yes, dummy variables. Okay, correct. Thank you. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Aki. Dummy variables. Anong rule natin, guys, sa pag-introduce ng dummy variables? Ilan? How many dummy variables? It's the number of factors minus 1. Okay, I think someone answered. Aki, dummy 2. Let's clarify that. We have to know the number of factors. Ilan yung different types ng characters. Okay, and then magma-minus tayo ng isa. Kunyari, dito sa race. Dito sa race natin, ano ba yung mga klase ng race natin? Why don't we, para mas makita natin, mag-summary tayo. Ito, para kita natin. Dito. Okay, yung summary ng wage, yun natin ha. Summary ng wage. Ay, hindi pala summary. Kailangan mas maganda kung structure wage. Okay. Si race, hindi din nasama lahat, ano? So si race, dalawang klase yan, si white at saka si non-white. Ang gender, ano bang, ito. Class yan. Okay. Class, may character siya. Okay. So si race, dalawang klase, white at saka non-white. So how many dummy variables are we going to introduce there? Just one. Kasi the number of factors, white at saka non-white, dalawa yun, minus 1. So isa lang yung dummy variable natin. Otherwise, guys, kung mag-introduce tayo dalawang dummy variables, we will fall into what we call the dummy variable trap, no? Magkakaroon tayo ng perfect collinearity. Explain natin yan in greater detail when we do the model. Okay, so if you have, let's say, 5 factors ng character variable natin, ang i-introduce lang natin na dummy variable is 4 lang, no? So sa Excel at saka sa X-Real stuff, kailangan natin i-convert muna yung character variable natin into dummy variables. And as I said, the rule is kung ilan yung factors natin, minus 1. Okay? Katulad itong civil status, single, married, dalawa lang. So isa lang yung dapat yung dummy variable natin dyan. Now kay R, hindi tayo kailangan mag-introduce ng dummy variable. Siya na yung gagawa nun for us. That's one convenient thing with R. Pero ang gagawin niya, guys, ang gagawin niyang 0, yung i-alphabetize na. Okay? Gagawin niya i-alphabetize niya. So yung gagawin niyang 0, yung unang alphabetically, kunyari si white at saka si non-white, ang gagawin niyang benchmark reference si non-white kasi yun ang alphabetically unang mag-a-appear, no? Female at saka male, ang gagawin niya ditong 0 si female. Okay, so yun ang default ni R, which of course we can change kung gusto natin gawin ng isang factor, yun ang benchmark natin. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Okay, so I hope you have already imported yung wage dataset natin. Okay, napakita ko na to yung wage natin. And then yung laman niya, the names function will give us the different variables. Okay, yung head, alam natin to, first 10, kasi 10 to, pati yung tail, alam na natin. Or we can also use the brackets to filter, to subset, no? Not filter, subset. So ito wage. Yung una dito, then comma. Ano yung una dito, guys? This refers to the wage tapos bracket. Tapos ano yung 1 to 10 dito? Anyone? We use the brackets, guys, to subset. Ano yung una dito, guys? Kasi bali dalawang set na numbers to eh. Yung
The
una,
first 10 rows, sir.
yes, okay, thank you. So rows to, no? So sinasabi natin kay R, generate the first 10 rows and then comma. Pag wala ditong laman, ano ibig sabihin nun? All the columns. Okay, so pareho lang yan nito ng head. Compare natin. Okay, so this generates the first 10 rows. Okay, lahat ng mga variables natin, ganun din to. The same here. So exactly the same. Okay, two ways to generate the same output. Structure, we already did this. Si class, okay, si class, guys. So sabi natin, class ni education, it's integer. Class ni race, it's character. Alright. So oftentimes, guys, pag nag-analyze tayo, kailangan tingnan muna natin descriptive statistics. Okay, the describe function in the psych package will give us some descriptive statistics. Okay, why did we put here psych? Okay, I placed here psych para alam natin kung saan nanggagaling yung describe function. Now, oftentimes, there are other packages that use that function describe. So kung may packages tayong ginagamit na parehong describe may parehong describe sila, kailangan, guys, sasabihin natin kung saan package nagaling yung gusto natin. Kaya that's why we named, as an example, we named it here psych, and then you have double colon, and then the function describe. Okay? So we did this so that alam natin na itong describe na to, galing yan sa psych package. And that's very useful, especially kung merong let's say dalawang packages na parehong ginagamit yun. Okay, here yung descriptive galing kay paste text to. So let's run muna natin to. Okay, so yung describe package, it will give us the variables and then some numerical descriptive measures. Yung count, yung mean, standard deviation, median, trimmed median, okay, mean absolute deviation, etc. Skewness, kurtosis, standard error. Okay, that's what the describe function from the psych package will give us. Ito naman yung paste text. Okay. Right. So ang default yata nito 6 decimal places. If you take a look at your output, may I know, guys, kung ilang decimal places yung ano. Pareho lang siya. Iba lang yung format. Andito yung natin, andito yung variables sa columns, tapos yung number, yung mga descriptive statistics andito sa rows. Okay, so may mga measures dito na wala dun sa describe package ng site. Right? How many decimal places did it give you, guys? How many? Pag-chat nga. When you run yung paste text, stat.describe, ilang decimal places? Ilan yung decimal places, guys, na nakuha niyo? Pwede paki-chat? When you run this, yung paste text, yung stat.describe. Wala? Okay, if you got 6, guys, 6 decimal places, okay, pwede nyong pwede i-format yan, and you can put here options. Options is equal to options. Options is equal to digits. Options digits is equal to 2. Let me check, tama ba itong code ko na to? So inside the stat that describe, nag-options tayo. Check ko lang ha. Ayan, tama guys. So dun sa loob ng stat that describe, wage, options, digits is equal to 2. You can include that kasi minsan mahaba yung decimal place na binibigay ni R. If you want to trim it, pwede nyo ilagay ito. Now, aside from paste text, yung stat describe, meron din Stargazer na package. Si Stargazer naman, pinapaganda niya yung output, no? So Stargazer, wage, type is equal to text, digits is equal to 2. Let's run that. Okay, so pwede na natin pwede natin nakalagay dito. So this, show a new window. Okay, then we can copy this, no? If we copy this, tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari, guys, ha? Copy. Let's copy this in, let's say, in Word, no? So, ang maganda, guys, kay Stargazer, I think we can copy it as a table. Unlike yung iba, pag hindi mo siya makakopy as a table. Okay, so while waiting, okay, blank document. Let me just check, no? Double check ko lang. Ayan, okay. Nagaya lang niya yung format. It can also be copied as a text. Pag-merge formatting, pag-keep source formatting. So different ways to copy, guys. So that's the advantage of using the Stargazer. Okay, any questions so far? Questions?
None, sir.
None, sir.
Okay, thank you.
None po.
Okay, then we have another package, yung scheme R. Tapos andun galing, guys, yung scheme. So let's just wait for this. Nagtatagal siya. Ito na, ano ko na to. Na-require ko na yung scheme R. Bakit ayaw? Yan, matagal lang. Matagal siya let me try it one more time. Scheme R. Ito na. Tuklong kasi medyo malaki-laki yung Okay. Let me rerun it kasi hindi nagkasya dun sa Sana magkasya sa ayaw talaga. So hindi siya magkasya sa column. So what do we find here? Si scheme, guys, nakasummarize siya yung data, wage, number of rows, number of columns. Ilan daw yung yung numeric na variable? 3. 5. Ilan yung character? 3. Okay, then What do we find here? It's a table, 3 by 8. So dito, guys, yung ano niya, yung ano to? These are your character variables. Min, min max, bakit may min max siya? Number of unique, ano, guys. Ito, guys, ilan yung unique na elements dun sa race? Dalawa. So dito makikita natin dito, two different, two factors for race, for gender, and civil status, which will guide us kung ilang dami variables yung ilalagay natin. Aside from that, yung mga numeric, so yung scheme guys, hiniwalay niya yung character at saka numeric, ano? Hiniwalay niya. And then you have here some measures, yung mean, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value, and then we have here a histogram, no? A small histogram of the data. So makikita natin ang medyo normally distributed lang dito yung education. The rest are not normally distributed. All right. Okay, so it's also important, guys, to learn how to plot plot the data. Siyempre, alam natin yung variable of interest natin. Alam natin na ang inaaral natin dito yung hourly wage. So, yung first simple regression na ginawa natin sa class natin is regressing education on hourly wage. So, in R, that's very easy to plot. Ang code lang natin dyan, plot. And then, this is your X, education. This is your Y, hourly wage. And then, this will give us the title of the main title of the plot. So, kita natin to. Okay. Anong sinasabi dito, guys? Ang sabi, error in plot, di ba? Bakit object education not found? Bakit? Bakit, guys? Kasi, tinan nyo yung mga sa global environment natin. Ang nare-recognize siya ng object is wage. So wala siyang, hindi niya alam yung ano, yung education at saka yung hourly wage. Hindi niya alam yan. Now, you have to specify kung saan galing yan. Okay, take a look at this. Okay, wage, education, wage, hourly wage. So we're telling R, you plot the education which comes from wage, the object wage, and also hourly wage which comes from wage. Okay, and yung X label natin, years of education, Y label, hourly wage. And then this is the plot character, kung anong klaseng plot. And then yung frame is equal to false, wag nalalagyan ng ano ng frame na line. And then yung main will be the title of the plot. So if we highlight this and then control enter, run natin, lalabas yung plot natin. Okay? So ito yung plot, which is the same as, if you recall guys, pareho yan dun sa ginawa natin sa Excel. Okay? So, and then ito, ang ginawa natin dito, kasi nakita natin guys na yung x-axis hanggang dito lang sa 15. So how do we extend that? Sabi natin, include this axis, one which is the x-axis from 0 to 20 by increments of 5. So if we highlight this, and then we run this, bago yung plot natin, okay, na-extend yung axis natin up to 20. Okay? So I'll just quickly go through this kasi na-discuss naman natin to. Okay, sabi natin, pag magre-regression, okay, kung isa lang naman guys yung data na ginagamit natin, data frame na ginagamit natin, para hindi na maulit-ulit yung wage, dollar education wage, dollar hourly wage, edi sabihin na lang natin kay R na paki-attach mo si wage. Ibig sabihin ng pag-attach, lahat ng mga variables na i-mention natin are all coming from wage. No? Sige, let's do this. Attach natin. Attach. Okay, so once we have that, we can now get, tingnan nyo dito guys, para recognize niya si education at saka si hourly wage. If we did not do this, mag-error tayo kasi hindi pa rin niya mara-recognize si education. Now that we have attached wage, we're telling R, so lahat ng mga variables na ibabanggit ko, galing yan kay wage. So let's now compute for the correlation. Okay, it's 0.41. Sabi natin, correlation measures not only the magnitude, not only the direction, but also the magnitude, no? 0.41 ang correlation, ibig sabihin, medium, no? Low to medium yung correlation ng dalawa, ni education at saka ni hourly wage. As much as possible, guys, pag nagre-regression tayo, gusto natin mataas yung correlation nila. Okay. All right, so okay, so let's now go to yung ano natin, yung regression natin. Sabi natin yung function na ginagamit natin for regression is linear model LM. And then the syntax is uunahin natin guys yung dependent variable natin tilde, okay, tilde, then you are independent variable, then define kung saan nagaling na data yan. Okay, take note guys, hindi natin kailangan dito ilagay yung wage education, yung wage dito kasi nga inattach na natin. Although good practice pa rin na ilalagay natin yung data is equal to whatever data frame it's coming from. Okay, we said that putting a parenthesis here will automatically generate the basic results. Pag hindi natin lalagyan ng parenthesis, open and close, okay, for example, this one, tinanggal ko guys yung ano, tinanggal ko yung parenthesis, ano mangyayari dito? If I run this simple linear regression, hindi automatic na lalabas yung result. Pero may lumabas na object called mod1 and it's a list. Ibig sabihin yung list na yan, di ba, naalala nyo sa R, pag list, combination yan ng different data types. Okay, merong mga data types yan na data frame, okay? Okay, merong mga matrix, depende. Okay, but when we put here the open and close parentheses, pag rinan natin yan guys, automatically lalabas yung okay. Lalabas yung initial output. So it's telling us that for this model, when we're regressing hourly wage on education, our intercept is -0.9 and our slope for education is 0.541. Okay? So, sige, tuloy na natin guys kasi review lang to, no? And then summary, now this will give us the complete result, regression output. Summary ng model 1 natin. Okay, enter. Alright. So ito guys, yung complete output natin. So ito yung call, ibig sabihin ito yung formula na ginamit natin, hourly wage, regression, education. Then we have a summary of residual stat, yung minimum residual, maximum residual. Okay, so makikita natin guys na medyo medyo yung mas malaki yung residual dun sa right side. Then first quartile, median, and then third quartile. And this is what's important for us. Ito. Okay, so what do we have here? Intercept. This is our beta null, which is -0.9. And we see here the p-value is less than 0.05. So the intercept is not significant because it's greater than 0.05. The p-value is greater than 0.05. However, guys, sabi natin, yung intercept, kahit na hindi significant yan, sinasama pa rin natin sa model natin. Si education, guys, with the value of 0.5414, p-value of 10.17, the p-value is practically less than 0.05, it's practically 0. The 3 stars here indicate what? It's less than 0.001. Okay, it's significant at 0.001 level. Okay, and then what's the meaning of 0.5414? Remember, this is the slope, this is the marginal effect of education per unit change in hourly wage. No? Ibig sabihin yan, for every what? $1 change in, sorry, mali yung kanina, no? For every one unit change in your regressor education. So for every 1 year increase in education, there's a corresponding $0.54 change in your hourly wage. And is it significant? Yes, it's significant. Okay, so ang ano pa, ito guys, yung naalala nito, analysis of variance natin. Okay, so this is 524 degrees of freedom. Saan nanggaling itong 524? Saan nanggaling yan guys? Yung degree of freedom yan, 524. Take note guys, sa ANOVA, sa FSTAT, dalawa yung degree of freedom. No? Degree of freedom for your regression, degree of freedom for your residual. Ito yung number of regressors natin. Since k is equal to 1, isa lang siya. And then this one is n minus k minus 1. Yung n natin is the number of data points, number of observations, which is 526, okay, minus k, which is 1, okay, and then minus 1. Para saan yung minus 1, guys? To account for the intercept, kasi inestimate din natin yung intercept. So, which means that we also lose 1 degree of freedom for that. So that's 526 minus 1, the number of regressors, minus 1 ulit for the intercept. That's why you have 524 for your residuals. No? Okay, and then ang p-value ng ANOVA natin is practically 0 then, less than 0.05. Therefore, sabi natin, overall, okay yung model natin. No? And then that can be seen in the individual t-tests. Okay? All right, so yung simple linear regression natin yan. Okay? And then, punta na tayo guys sa nag-regression diagnostics tayo. Let's skip that. Punta na tayo guys sa multiple regression tayo. No? Okay, babalikan na lang natin guys yung residual analysis sa multiple regression. We don't need that much for simple linear regression kasi usually hindi naman natin ginagawa yan. All right. So we're going to use now all the regressors. Okay, di ba ang wage natin to? All our regressors, which are education, experience, tenure, race, gender, civil status, and number of number of dependents. We're going to regress that on hourly wage. Okay, sige. So let's do that. Okay, so dito guys, sinasabi natin, wage, dollar, raise. Although hindi na kailangan to guys kasi naka-attach niyan, di ba? Okay, sige, ilan natin pareho, no? Okay, para just to show you guys, Control C, copy nyo, and then tanggalin natin guys yung wage. Why are we allowed to remove that? Kasi naka-attach na yan, no? Naka-attach na yung wage, guys. Ibig sabihin yan, yung mga variables natin are coming from wage. Okay, so this is the complete code. Anong ginagawa natin dito? Tingnan muna natin guys yung class. No? Class ni race. Actually, nagawa na natin kanina to. Class ni race, okay, character. Okay, take note, hindi na natin guys linagay dito yung wage, dollar rates. Kasi nabasa na ni Aryan na, okay, si race na yan, na variable, galing yan kay wage. So we know that that's a character. No? Character. And then, ang gagawin natin guys, we have to tell R, dapat si race hindi siya character. Dapat factor yan. Okay? We have to convert our character variables as factors para magamit ni Aryan as regression. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so Ang ginawa natin dito, si race na galing kay wage, guys, ginawa natin as factor siya. So, i-check ulit natin. Class, race, tingnan natin kung nagbago to. Oops, wait. Class, ba't nawala? Check ko lang ha. Class. Let me check this. Okay, factor na siya. No? It's now a factor. Right? Let's see guys kung pareho lang to. No? What am I comparing this with? I'm comparing it with row 182. Kasi si 182, in-specify pa natin na galing yung race kay wage. But is that really necessary? Hindi na actually. Kasi sabi natin na attach na natin yung wage data frame. Let's run this. Okay. And then check natin si class, race. Okay, factor na siya, no? Okay. All right. So, ganun din guys, ganun din si gender at saka si civil status. Okay, so ganito lang gawin natin guys. Let's copy this too. Control C, Control V. And then tatanggalin ko guys yung wage. Again, I said that we are allowed to do that kasi let's just first check yung class ni class ni gender. Class niya, character siya. Ganun din si class ni hourly wage, ni civ status. Okay. So, parehong wala na note dito. Check. Also, data type of gender and civil status. So we were able to show that their convert. Okay. Convert natin guys to factors. So si gender at saka si civil status. Okay, as factor na siya. Ganun din si civil status. As factor siya. Okay? So check natin class ni gender. Okay, factor na si gender guys. Class ni civil status, factor na rin siya. Okay, so we're okay guys. Okay, since they're factors already, we can proceed with the regression. Check natin structure ni wage. Ayan, okay? So si race, factor with 2. Oops, bakit si gender, Gender, ba na-convert na natin? Bakit pa rin nag-aan? Why is it still character? Okay, so dapat na siya, factor na siya. Sa inyo guys, okay na? Wage. Guys, sa inyo, okay na? Nag-factor na si gender at saka si civil status. We should be okay already kasi si gender, si gender, oops, already, ayaw nito. Enter. What am I doing wrong? Bakit ganon? Around this. Oh, nag-create siya ng ano, ng object. Bakit nag-create siya ng object? Okay. Wait guys, wait. Sorry, my mistake. Anong ginawa ko dito? Asan yung gender ko kanina? Nag-create pala ako. My mistake guys ha. Nag-create ako ng object dito. Okay, nag-create ako ng race. Tapos, did I create gender? Ito. Okay, guys, sorry my mistake. Okay, dito, kailangan ipasok natin dito si wage. Kasi, otherwise guys, here, magka-create tayo ng object called gender. Okay, and we don't want that. I'm not creating an object called gender. I'm dealing with the wage, with the gender in wage. That's why guys, mali ako, no? Kaya tinan nyo dito, nagkaroon tayo ng object na civil status, gender, at saka race. I don't want that. Ang gusto ko guys, yung wage na, wage na gender as factor to this. Okay, and then dito, wage na yung sa civil status as factor yung civil status. Okay. So careful guys kasi assignment operator nga pala to, no? So mali yun mali yung ginawa ko kanina. Alright, factor na si race, factor na. Okay, so factor na silang tatlo guys. Si race, si gender, at saka si civil status. Okay, what was my mistake? I was very careless about it. No? Naging careless ako guys, ang ginawa ko kanina, nag-gender lang ako. Nakatanggal lang to. So what was I doing? I was creating another object called gender. Okay? And we don't want that. So i-remove ko lang si gender. Hindi ko kailangan yung gender na yan. Na object. RM gender. Remove that. Okay, so nawala na siya dito. Okay? Remove din si race. Okay? Okay, wala na siya. Okay? Remove din natin si civil status. Okay, my mistake guys, sorry. Okay. Alright, so ang ano lang natin guys, yung object natin so far, wage lang at saka model 1. Model 1 yung kaninang simple linear regression. So si wage, ito pa rin siya. No? Pero yung race na to, gender at saka civil status, they're no longer character. No? They are already, as shown here, structure ng wage, they are already factors. Yan. And we need that guys for our multiple regression. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so sabi natin guys, importante na makikita natin yung relationship ng explanatory variables natin at saka yung outcome variables natin. Ang outcome variable natin si HR wage, explanatory natin yung lahat, no? So let's see. Let's use the site from the site package yung pairs.panel. Tingnan natin to. Okay. So this is a good way to show the relationship. Okay, between your variables, no? So this is education and experience, 0.3 sila. Okay, education and tenure, it's 0.6. So watch out for those variables that have very high correlation, no? Correlation. Yung ano, yung mga characters natin, gender, civil status at saka race, eh, we don't mind this so much. Kaya lang siya nagkaroon ng values, guys, kasi 'di ba dinamify muna ni Arto, but we actually don't put so much interpretation to that kasi mga ano yan, mga factors yan, guys, no? Ang tinitingnan natin more is are the numerical variables. So si HR wage, relatively mataas yung correlation niya with education. Also with tenure, no? Mababa siya kay, well, kasi ano to, no? Dummy variable to. Mababa siya kay number of dependents, 0.05 lang. Okay, so these are the things that this can also indicate that baka hindi maging significant regressor itong number of dependents. Also, the direction here, mga negative, ibig sabihin, negative yung relationship nila, which means that as one variable goes up, the other variable goes down. Negative yan. Okay, any questions? Clear so far? Paki-chat lang, guys, kung okay so far.
Clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. The rest? Paki-yes na lang kung clear. Okay, thank you, Angelo. Okay. All right, so let's continue, guys. Okay, mag-linear regression na tayo. And then we're creating model 2. Kanina model 1, guys. So ang using R, ang gagawin natin, LM pa rin. Okay, linear model with our dependent variable. And then we spell out all our independent variables. Yan. And then data is equal to wage. Tapos sabi natin, ang shortcut niyan, ito. No? Okay, we use tilde and then dot. Pag dot, guys, ibig sabihin lahat yon. Okay, so para sa akin, kung hindi naman gaano karami yung explanatory variables, okay lang na i-spell out yung para kitang-kita. Otherwise, guys, kung masyadong marami, then it might make sense to just put here dot. Ibig sabihin naman yan, anyway, lahat, no? So I'm going to run this, yung pangalawa. Okay. I'll run this. Okay, take note, guys, naglagay ako ng open and close parentheses. So nagbigay na kagad siya ng initial output. Ano lang, yung mga values lang ng parameters natin. So intercept, education, experience, tenure, etc. If we want the complete model, so summary, model 2, that will give us the complete regression output. Okay, so first, let's look at the overall goodness of fit. Dito muna tayo sa fstat natin. Okay, so again, dito guys, fstat 43.5. We learned in Excel how to compute for this. 7, what does 7 refer to? This is degree of freedom 1. This is the number of regressors, no? Pito kasing regressors natin, education, experience, tenure. Yung mga dummy variables natin, yung race na white, race na male, at saka civil status na single. Okay. I'll explain it in a while. And then 518, yung degree of freedom 2. So where did we get this? Where did we get this? Ilan ba guys lahat yung observations natin? How many observations do we have all in all? Tingnan natin sa object natin. Okay. So wage, 526 observations, guys. No? So we have 526 observations. So that's n minus k. So 526 minus 7, or 519 minus 1 to account for the intercept. So 518 degrees of freedom for your residual, 7 for your regression, for your explanatory variables. Okay, p-value is practically 0. Okay, so what does this tell us? Ibig sabihin nito guys, na overall goodness of fit natin, overall guys, okay yung model natin. Remember, our null hypothesis there is, what's our null hypothesis? Sagutin ko na lang, beta null is equal to beta 1, is equal to beta 2, is equal to hanggang beta 7, is equal to 0. So yun guys, yung ano natin, no? Yung mga, yun yung ano natin, yung mga parameters natin. Okay, so we reject the null hypothesis. At least one of these parameters is not equal to 0. And kita naman natin dito yung individual test. Okay, individual test guys. Okay, education 0.54746, is it significant? Yes, significant at 0.001, 3 stars. Okay, our 3 stars is less than 0.001. Okay, and then sino pa? Experience, significant at, dot lang to. Ibig sabihin ng dot guys, ano? Significant at 10%, 0.10. So kung if we will strictly follow yung significance at alpha level of significance of 0.05, then reject natin yung experience. No? Tenure, okay, pasok at 0.001. Gender male at 0.001 then. And the rest are not significant. Okay, quickly interpret natin to guys. Ano ibig sabihin nito? What's the meaning of intercept guys? Negative 3.38, significant. Ibig sabihin niya, this is the value of your hourly wage, this is the value of your dependent variable when all of these are equal to 0. So ibig sabihin, education is equal to 0, experience is equal to 0, tenure is equal to 0. Then explain natin kung ano to ha. Okay, number of dependents is equal to 0. Okay, before we continue with the intercept, ano ibig sabihin guys itong race na white? What's the meaning of that? Dito ni-specify ni R, race, white, gender, male, civil status, single. So dapat naintindihan natin yan guys. Ano ibig sabihin ng race, white? Ibig sabihin yan guys, race white, yung white dyan, ang ginawa niyang 1. So kung si white yung 1, sino yung 0? Guys, sino yung 0? Dalawa lang naman yan guys. White at saka si hello? You still there guys? Importante guys, maintindihan natin to ha. Kung paano ginagawa ni Art to. Okay, ano ibig sabihin tong race na white? Hello? Okay, so let me just answer that guys. Baka iba wala. Okay, ang ibig sabihin nito guys, yung white, yung white ang ginawa niyang 1. Yung non-white, yun ang 0. Oh, how did R do that? No? Kasi kung titingnan natin dito, white at non-white. Ang ginagawa niyang 0 guys, yung alphabetically, yung unang lalabas. So if we alphabetize this, si non-white yung una, no? Okay? So yun ang gagawin niyang 0. Sa gender, male, female, okay? Sino yung ano dito? Sino yung alphabetically, sino yung una? Si female, di ba? So kaya ang ginawa niya, si female, 0. Tapos si male, ang ginawa niyang 1. Kung sino yung unang mag-a-appear doon sa data na alphabetically, siya yung gagawin niyang reference. Ganon din dito guys sa civil status. Kasi single or married yung civil status eh. Diba? Single or married. And civil status. Single or married. So since alphabetically mauuna si married, yun ang gagawin niyang yun ang gagawin niyang reference, 0. Now, what if you want otherwise? Kunyari dito, ang gusto mong female is ang gusto mong reference is female. Anong pwede mong gawin? What I do is, ima-manipulate ko na yung data. No? Ang gagawin ko, kunyari lahat ng male, lalagyan ko kunyari ng letter Z, small letter Z sa dulo. Z, male, para mahuhuli siya. No? Mauuna yung female. Sorry, baliktad pala. Kunyari si female ang gusto kong gawing 0, ang reference. So ang gagawin ko, lalagyan ko to ng letter, kunyari Z female. Okay, that's one way. There are different ways, no? Para if it will be arranged alphabetically, mahuhuli si Z female. So ang gagawing benchmark o reference, si male. Kasi mauuna siya. So magiging 0 to. Si female ang magiging reference. Okay? But you can impute na ang fact, ang is equal to 1 mo will be a certain factor. Let's do that later on, no? Anuhin muna natin to. So, ibig sabihin to, guys, race, since this is coming from the variable race, white, so this should be interpreted as what? Assuming na significant siya. How do we interpret this? Assuming na significant siya, that white people tend to get 0.11 dollars per hour more than non-white people. Kasi ibe-benchmark nyo to, guys. Ibe-benchmark nyo to dun sa reference variable natin, which is non-white. So white people tend to get 0.11 dollars per hour more than the non-white people. Ganun din dito, the male people tend to get $1.76 more than their female counterparts. Nga pala, ceteris paribus, no? Kailangan nakasama yon, all things being equal. Okay, so let's go back here. Ano ibig sabihin ng education dito? Yung intercept, guys. Ano ibig sabihin ng intercept? Okay, ibig sabihin ng intercept, guys, this is the average hourly wage for a person with 0 education, 0 work experience, 0 tenure, sino pa? Non-white, female, married person, and no number of dependents. Ulitin ko, guys. Ulitin ko. Okay. Tingnan natin dito. Meaning of the intercept, which is equal to negative 3.87. No? Okay, dapat, guys, maintindihan natin to 3.87. Negative 3.88 pala. 3.89. This is the average hourly wage of a non-white female married individual person with no education, no experience, no tenure, and no dependents. Okay, let's take time to look at this, guys. Paano nangyari to? Paano ko nasabi na non-white female married person? Okay, ang ibig sabihin kasi nito, guys, yung intercept na to, ibig sabihin to, this is the average hourly wage if all of these are all 0. Diba? So ibig sabihin, no education, no years of education, no years of experience, no years of tenure. Ano ibig sabihin pag 0 daw to? 0 to. Pag 0 to, guys, 0 yung race white, ibig sabihin nun, non-white siya. Diba? Right, guys? Kasi pag 0 to, ibig sabihin non-white. Pag 0 to, ibig sabihin female. Pag zero to, ibig sabihin nun guys, married. Kaya sinasabi ko dito, the intercept, negative 3.89, is the hourly wage of a non-white female married person. Okay? So sinero out natin to. Pag zero to, again guys, non-white. Pag zero to, female. Pag zero to, married. Who does not have any years of education, zero experience, zero tenure, and zero number of dependents. Okay? So yun ang ibig sabihin ng negative 3.89. Okay, clear yung guys? Kung may nakikinig pa. Parang wala na yata nakikinig sa akin. Clear ba yun? Okay, pakichat na lang. Okay, thank you. Salamat ha. Ay, salamat. Akala ko wala na kayo. Anyway, ipopost ko naman to. I won't take it against those who left, no? Okay, so I hope that's clear, guys, ha? Yung intercept niyan. Sabi nga natin dati, it doesn't make any practical sense to interpret the intercept kasi wala naman talagang negative 3.89 hourly wage. Ibig sabihin, ikaw magbabayad dun sa isang tao na non-white female na married person na walang education, walang experience, wala siyang tenure, wala siyang dependent, siya pa yung magbabayad dun sa company. Doesn't make sense, no? But just theoretically, yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Okay, let's go here, guys. Education. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin ng 0.5746 on the average. Okay? On the average, guys, ano? On the average, a 1-year increase in education will result to a $0.57 per hour increase in hourly wage, okay, comma, ceteris paribus. Okay, so yan guys, ito lang yung ini-interpret natin ha. Ito lang, no? 0.5746, okay, increase in hourly wage, okay, for every 1-year increase in education. Now, hindi natin alam guys, we cannot say if it's a male or a female, okay, or white or non-white. Hindi natin, wala tayong conclusion ng ganun. Is it the same guys, yung increase na yan na 0.5746, is it the same for a white and a non-white? Okay, hindi natin masasagot yun. Kailangan, in order to answer that, mag-i-interaction tayo. Gagawin na lang natin ang next meeting. Tapusin muna natin to. Okay, and then experience guys. Experience, although significant lang siya at 10%, okay, so interpret lang natin. For each 1-year increase in experience, there's a corresponding $0.02 per hour increase in hourly wage, okay, comma, ceteris paribus, or all things being equal. Ibig sabihin, ang i-increase mo lang si experience. Yung iba, wag mo i-increase. Kasi ang sabi natin, for every 1-year increase in experience. So ibig sabihin nun, dagdagan mo si experience ng 1 year, pero yung iba, wag mo dadagdagan. Kasi pag dinagdagan mo yung iba guys, magkakaroon ka ng marginal impact also, marginal effect coming from those variables. No? So kaya nga sinasabi natin na ceteris paribus. Okay? Third, tenure. Ano ibig sabihin nito guys? For every 1-year increase in tenure. Bakit year din? Kasi ang tenure in terms of years din. For every 1-year increase in tenure, there's a corresponding $0.02 per hour increase in hourly wage, ceteris paribus. Okay? And then it's significant, no? Kasama sa model natin. These three guys, we interpreted it already. Sabi natin, although si race white, hindi siya significant. Assuming it's significant, guys, ang ibig sabihin lang yan, white people tend to receive $0.11 per hour more than their non-white counterparts. So parang may ang question na gusto natin mapag-aralan dyan, may ano ba, may what do you call that? The term for that is, meron bang, kalimutan mo yung term. Ano yung term yung guys? The term escapes me now. Yung may bias ba? Okay? May bias ba guys? May discrimination ba dun sa mga white people vis-a-vis the non-white? Lalo na si male, guys. No? Significant pa to, sasama sa model natin to. 1.76. Male employees tend to receive, on the average, $1.76 per hour more than their female counterparts. Okay, and then civil status single, again, kung ano yan, kung significant yan, hindi nga lang significant, pero single employees tend to receive $4.46 less than their married counterparts. No? Bakit less? Kasi negative to. Okay? Okay, so that's how we interpret yung mga factors natin. It's always interpreted in relation to your benchmark. Okay, number of dependents, guys, hindi rin significant, but if it was significant, for every one unit increase in number of dependents, there's a corresponding 0.1465 increase in hourly wage. Ibig sabihin, habang nadadagdagan yung mga dependents, mga anak, tumataas yung tumataas yung hourly wage. But it's not significant. So what will be our final model, guys? Our final model will be, ano yung final model natin? Kapit mo nga to. Kapit mo muna siya sa Word. Okay, sorry, hindi ko nalagay yung aking digital pad. Writing. Okay. Sorry about that. Install ko lang, guys, yung writing pad na. Okay, so installing our writing pad. Okay, so ano yung model natin, guys? Hourly wage. Okay. To indicate that this is the forecast is equal to negative 3.3896 plus 0.57. I-ano ko lang, guys, ha? Education. And then, ano significant dito? Tenure plus 0.1393 tenure. And then, plus 1.79 times raise. Okay? Times raise, guys. Kasi ito talaga yung variable natin. Pero just remember that yung non-white dyan yung reference. Okay, so we only have one, education, tenure, and race as our significant variables together with the intercept, 1, 2, 3. Di natin sinama si experience. So is this the final model, guys? Is that the final model? Sabi natin hindi. Kaya dapat mag-stepwise regression tayo, no? Hindi siya pwedeng final model, guys, kasi pag nag-stepwise regression tayo, it's possible that may mga insignificant variables na magiging significant. Okay, so let's compare model 1, yung simple linear regression natin, and model 2. Diba may model 1 na tayo? This is our model 1, yung simple linear regression lang, yung hourly wage regression education. Then model 2 is ginamit natin lahat ng variables natin. So sabi natin, we can compute for the AIC ng model 1, 277, model 2, model 1 pa rin BIC. And compare natin guys sa model 2 is 2641 versus 277 kanina. Which is the better model, guys? Which is the better model based on AIC? Guys, which is the better model? It's the
Model 2.
model 2 kasi by virtue of having the lower AIC. Sabi natin kasi ang AIC ang minimeasure ng information loss. So, mas maliit yung information loss in model 2. Okay, so a formal way to do that is this one, guys. Okay, mag-ANOVA tayo, analysis of variance. Okay, and ang hypothesis natin dito, yung restricted model, yung restricted guys, yung mas konti, yung explanatory variables natin. Dito si model 1, iisa lang yung explanatory natin dyan, di ba? As compared to model 2, which is 7. So, tingnan natin, guys. Okay, so based on this, ayan, no? Model 1 natin, si education lang yung regressor. The rest, 7. No? So, ano yung natin dito? P-value. P-value is practically 0, significant at 0.001. No? So, conclusion natin, inference natin, we reject the null hypothesis that the restricted model is better. Okay? We reject the null hypothesis that model 1 is better. So, mas maganda guys si model 2. Mas maganda yung sinama natin yung iba pang parameters. Alright. Then, manually, anong gagawin natin guys? Hindi natin tatanggalin one at a time, no? Gagawin natin, isa-isahin natin. If you recall guys, ano yung basis natin for ano? Ano yung basis natin for the leaving, yung aalis na variable? Ano yung basis natin? The lowest t-value. So ano yung lowest t-value dito in absolute terms, no? Ang pinakamaliit is ito, race white, no? So tatanggalin natin si race. Race will be the leaving variable. 0.26 lang kasi siya. So ginawa natin to guys last time manually. Okay, so nag-model 3 tayo. Okay? So ito yung model 3 natin, no? So HR wage, tinanggal natin si race. Okay, take note guys, ang variable talaga natin race, ha? If you take a look at this, race yung variable natin. Linagay lang ni R yung race white, no? Kasi to distinguish the reference variable. Okay, so we removed the race. So naging 6 na lang yung regressors natin. Okay, another way to do it is this way. Tilde lahat din minus race. Okay, minus race. All the variables minus race. So it will give us the same result. So I'll just run this. So model 3 tayo. Okay, model 3. Okay, so may model 3 na tayo. Ano yung laman ni model 3, guys? Yan, ito yung laman ni model 3, mga coefficients, etc. Different data types. Okay, and then summary natin. Summary. Alright, I forgot to tell you guys, yung adjusted R squared, 0.363. So muna unahin natin, ha. Adjusted R squared, guys. For multiple regression, you usually use yung adjusted R squared. Kasi ang multiple R squared na 37, and then we penalize the model for the addition of more variables. So 360 siya. No? Ito yung ginagamit natin as a comparator. Alright, ibig sabihin yan, 36.3% of the variability of your dependent variable hourly wage can be explained by your model. Okay. So compare natin sa model 2 yan, tumaas ba? 36.3, ito 36.2, no? Si model 2. So medyo tumaas yung adjusted R squared natin. Pero we don't just base it on that. No? Titingnan natin guys, mag-formal statistical analysis tayo. We could have also compared the we could have also compared the AIC at saka BIC. Pero tingnan natin to guys, ha? Okay, what do you notice here? Ano nangyari dito? Education, si tenure, si gender ba kanina significant? Significant si gender kanina, no? Model 2, okay, significant siya. So 1, 2, 3, 3 pa rin guys yung significant. Dito, 3 pa rin yung significant. Okay, clear so far guys? And I will not anymore guys, I will not anymore interpret this. Okay, kasi alam niyo na kung paano interpret yan, no? Just remember to always put ceteris paribus. Okay, but the adjusted R squared went up. Okay. Tapos, tumaas yung degree of freedom number 2 natin kasi bumaba yung number of predictors natin. 6 na lang to kanina, 7. Okay. So if we compare guys yung AIC ni Model 2 at saka Model 3, okay, we run this. Okay. 2641 versus 2639. So using the AIC, alam natin na mas maganda si Model 3. No? And then, okay, formal test tayo, mag-ANOVA tayo. Model 3, Model 2, we're comparing the two models. Okay, so Model 2 natin, which is the, ang restricted model natin dito guys, ito. No? Ang restricted natin is, sino yung restricted natin? Si Model 3 or Model 2? Restricted is? Guys, 3 or 2? Si 3, di ba? Which in this case, yun yung ano yun, Model 2 yun. No? Ito yung restricted natin. Paano ko nalaman guys? Walang race na to, no? Sorry. Ito pala yung restricted natin. Minus race. Tinanggal yung race dito. Dito may race pa. Okay, so what's our conclusion, guys? P-value is 0.8, which is way greater than 0.05. So, conclusion. We fail to reject the null hypothesis that the restricted model is better. So, ano ibig sabihin guys? Mas maganda si Model 3 yung restricted model natin. Kasi si Model 3 guys, di ba tinanggalan natin siya. No? Tinanggalan natin ng race. So, in this case, si Model 1 dito, yung pinapalabas dito sa ANOVA dito, sana ginawa din ni consistent. Minus race to. Mas maganda yung natin guys, yung restricted model. So, mas maganda si Model 3. Okay, questions guys? Clear ba yun? Okay, no questions? Okay, so next. Anong gagawin natin? May tatanggalin na naman tayo. Okay, based on the leading variables, yun yung pinakamaliit na t-value. C, 1.79, 1.58, 1.33. Si number of dependents. Okay, ignore guys yung mga negative kung meron. So, ang choice lang natin guys, yung tatlong insignificant at 0.05. Insignificant, insignificant, insignificant. So, leading variable number of dependents. Kaya, ituloy natin yan guys. Nag-model 4 tayo. Okay, tinanggal natin si number of dependents. Wala na si number of dependents dito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 na lang yung regressors natin dito. Okay, so let me run this. Okay. Adjusted R squared 362, no? Parang lumiit yung adjusted R squared niya. Okay, but again, we don't base it here. Okay, then tatatlo pa lang din yung gender, male, tenure. Pareho pa rin yung mga significant, no? Pareho pa rin. And then, let's compare yung Model 3, yung unrestricted, 2639. 2639. So, tayo lang sila guys, no? Between Model 3 and Model 4 kasi tinanggal yung yung decimal place. So, we don't really, we just use as AIC, BIC as a reference. No? Pero mas maganda kung statistical test talaga. In this case, yung ANOVA natin, run. Okay, point 18. Okay, so conclusion natin, we reject the null hypothesis that the restricted model is what, guys? Point 18, restricted model is the better model. Sorry, we fail to reject. Mas maganda si restricted model. Mas maganda yung tinanggal natin si no, tinanggal natin si status 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sino yung tinanggal natin? Si number of dependents, no? Dito. Tinanggal natin si number of dependents dito. So we'll stick with model number 4, yung mas binawasan natin. Okay, then, tatanggalin natin sino? Sino yung tatanggalin natin, guys? Model number 4 natin, tatanggalin natin si experience, no? Lower t-value. So model number 5 natin, tinanggal natin si experience. Dito na siya, model 5. Apat na lang natira, tinanggal si experience. Okay? Then run this. All right. Okay, now it turns out, guys, that 1, 2, 3, 4, apat na variables ang significant na. Yung nag-initial regression tayo, 3 lang yung significant. So dito, apat na variables ang significant na. Pumasok din si single status, no? Okay, so let's compare using mag-ANOVA na tayo, guys. All right. So point 12. What does that tell us, guys? We fail to reject the null hypothesis that the restricted model, which is the latest model, yung binawasan natin, is the better model. So mas maganda talaga yung model number 5. Okay? So this will be our final model, guys, kasi lahat significant na, no? Wala nang insignificant. No more living variable. And this is different from the initial model that we did, yung model number 2. Kasi sa initial model natin, 3 lang yung significant. Dito, 4 yung significant. Okay? Okay, then, let's go here, guys. Ipakita ko lang sandali it's already time. Pakita ko lang sandali itong OLSRR. We'll finish this next meeting. Ito, guys, yung mas mabilis, no? Kaysa yung nagmamanual tayo. So we're going to use this OLSRR package. Okay, although nagawa na natin ito kanina. Okay, so we create a model LM, okay, with all the variables. Same lang yan ito, no? Shortcut. And then we'll create this object. Okay, unang gagawin natin, guys, yung forward regression using p-values. So method 1.1 yan. Meron method 1.2, forward regression using AIC. So let's just run this two, yung forward regression, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so if I run this, so meron tayong object na model, re-regress natin. Ito na lang, guys, ito, model. Okay, ano nangyari dito? Model LM. Ay, sorry. Dapat HR range pala ito. Sorry. HR range. Okay. Yan. Alright. So may object na tayo na model, guys. Yan, no? Model. Tapos yung gagawin natin, guys, yung model na yan, pareho lang yan dun sa model number 2 natin, yung multiple regression. Yung lahat kasama. Okay? In fact, if gawin natin na view model. And then, not view, summary pala. Summary model, pareho lang yan, guys. Ayan, no? The same as our first multiple regression kanina. And then, guys, ito. let's create an object called forward regression, and then using p-values, so dot p, kaya dot p. And then OLS underscore step underscore forward underscore p. This is the function from OLSRR. And then, anong gagawin natin ng forward? Yung model natin, ito. And then entering variable natin is 0.05. This is our level of significance. Enter. All right. So we have this. Right? I-run natin yung forward.p. Okay. So I'll end here, guys. Ito pinapakita lang, guys, how were the variables introduced, no? So ito, forward, guys, ang ginagawa ng forward as against backward kasi yung ginawa natin, isa-isa niya ipapasok, no? So first, ang ginawa niya, pinasok niya si education. Pag education lang, R squared lang, adjusted R squared 16.32. Akai key 277. Root mean square error, this is the standard error, no? Tapos pinasok niya si tenure. Ang nangyari, guys, bumaba si Akai key, no? Tumaas si adjusted R squared. Okay? Bumaba si standard error. And then pinasok niya si gender. Okay? Bumaba si Akai key, which is good. Tapos civil status. So ito, guys, yung mga significant variables sa final model natin, which is consistent with the backward stepwise regression na ginawa natin. Okay? So I'll just run this, guys, and then tapos na. Yung isa naman, guys, yung forward using AIC naman. So again, we create this object forward fit.aic. The function is OLS step forward AIC. Yung model ang gagawin natin. Okay, and then run this. Okay, ito naman yung summary niya. So binase sa AIC. Now take note, guys, sa AIC, magkaiba yung output, no? Kasi dito, sinama niya si experience. Kasi bumaba si AIC, bumaba yung AIC nung sinama natin si experience. So medyo nagko-conflict to dun sa p-value. Pero ang sabi natin, ang gagamitin natin yung p-value. So don't be surprised na magkaiba, guys. Pwedeng bumaba yung AIC pero insignificant na yung experience. So lumabas sa atin, insignificant yung experience. So we'll still follow the p method. Okay, so next meeting, guys, tutuloy na natin to. And then we go to diagnostics. And then we go to specialized types of multiple regression na. Okay, so sana paki-aral na lang to, guys, no, hanggang dulo. Tingnan nyo kung ano ginagawa nitong the rest para mas mabilis yung discussion natin. Okay, with that, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next meeting.